switch now to theatre, and a show called Edlmayr is being performed at Houthouse Theatre coming up on the 11th, 12th and 13th of December. And I've got with me Coralie Schell and Emily Weavers, who are the Reginas, a music group supported by legendary local drummer Kevin McGrath, making their debut theatre performance as part of Houthouse Theatre's Celsius independent theatre. And I've got to just give this a plug because the Celsius program supports the development of local independent theatre practitioners through the creation of theatre works that ignite and inspire regional audiences. Emily, Coralie and Kev, welcome.
Thank you.
To
Thank
Town
you.
Crier. It's great to have you with us. We're actually outside the Fruit Flies here today, so you've very kindly taken a break from your rehearsals at Houthouse to come over and join us. Tell us about the project.
Well, it started probably 2 years ago now, where the Me Too movement was all abuzz, and there was quite a bit of pushback of that movement. And I guess we were sick of just writing stories that were only 3 minutes or 4 minutes long in terms of a song, because we were banned before that. And now, and then I think...
You were a band or you were banned?
We were a band. Yes.
Yeah, maybe banned a couple of times.
Yeah.
So,
Only a little bit.
yeah, only a few times.
Yep, sorry.
No, and so I think that it was that time that we really want to tell more of just a 3 minute, 4 minute story, and so we decided that we would do what we do best and continue to write music but put it in the form of a story, and therefore we have ourselves a cabaret, and I guess the topic was something that meant a lot to us.
Yes.
As staunch feminists.
Yes.
We wanted to make sure that we told a story of strong women. We didn't want to be, it wasn't just about women that were suffering or victims or anything like that, but women that perhaps are victims, but they're bloody strong too.
The story actually comes from one of the most horrific and monumental events in the history of the world.
Absolutely. It is actually about my grandmother, who was in Austria post-World War II. But I guess the other really important thing about this story is just on the tail end of 16 days against gender-based violence, it's quite fitting because sadly these things are still happening today.
Yeah. What is this? Just take us through. How does the story develop? What do we see?
No, you do it. Okay.
Come on, Emily, share the load.
Okay. Well, the story, it's got 8 original songs in it. It's got 11 songs all up. And they kind of tell the story through the emotion and stuff. And then we've got some spoken word in between and a little bit of acting. But that's how the show comes.
And does it come from? Are you doing sketches of your grandma's life, or Coralie's life, I should say, Coralie's grandma's life, or how does that? Do they come from letters or?
Look, we did a lot of research. There weren't letters as such, but we did delve into old photographs, old articles. It took a lot of research to get it together.
I just find that amazing, what you've taken and you're putting it in a cabaret setting. I find that really intriguing.
Yeah. It's been pretty new for us, but it's been a very, very inspiring journey.
And there was also obviously things coming from my mum and my dad even, because my grandmother would tell him things. But also we had my mum's cousin who was a little older than my mum, and so he was in Austria, and he's got a better recollection of what was actually going on at the time. Yeah.
Wow, how extraordinary. How did you two get together and form the Reginas?
Well, we were first Francis Pickles back in the day, and we were in a band, and then we had...
Here or
in Albury.
Yeah.
In and around Albury.
Francis Pickles, are they related to W.A. Pickles, Crane Hire?
No, but I think there was another Francis Pickles, a local actually, that died a long time ago. No, no
okay,
relation.
let's move. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, and so
then out of that we decided we were sick of being that band that plays in the corner of a pub and kind of doesn't get listened to. We wanted to be heard and be a bit selfish, and so we thought we'd put on a show that people kind of have to watch if they buy tickets.
Yeah, great. And where does Kev come in? Apart from being one of our wonderful percussionists on the border, but a wonderful tutor as well for many years.
I'll just say a little bit, Kevin, and then I think you need to. We, as Emily said, we've written 8 of the 11 songs, and the other thing about those, or all of the 11 songs, is that the genres are quite different. So they do range from beautiful melodic piano tunes right through to a few punk songs. And really, what's a punk song without drums? So that's when we got on to Kevin.
Fundamentally, they needed an old bloke that they could punch around and, knock into shape.
Sure.
And wouldn't fight back too much. So,
I don't know about that.
From my point of view, I've got to say, even from we've done a lot of rehearsal, but even from all the rehearsal, I still find the thing fresh, and I still find it amazing, the content, the actual story. And I think for me, as an older player that's played drums for a long time, it's not something that you dwell on where you talk much about story, but I think as I've got older, I've realised more and more that's what music's really about. In so many different ways, and conveying that story is a very powerful thing.
Wow.
And it's just great to be part of it. For me, at this stage of my life, I didn't think I'd be doing something like this, but there you go. They dragged me out of mothballs, and here I am.
Yeah. I
Now
reckon.
he's a staunch feminist.
What's that, Em?
Now he's a staunch feminist.
That's right. Yeah.
He always has been.
Yeah, I was going to say he always has been.
This show sounds fascinating. Just take us through the dates again. We've got 11, 12 and 13. So that sounds to me like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Next week.
That's
Yep.
correct,
At the Houthouse, no, Butter Factory.
Yep, at Butter Factory. Part of the Celsius developmental program.
Yeah.
Great.
This is great. This would be a great launching pad to take it to other venues.
Totally. Yeah, that's the plan, is to hopefully take it to big cities, smaller venues. Yeah.
And such a rich vein you're tapping there, because this is multi-layered.
Absolutely, 100%. In fact, it's actually really challenging when people ask us, what is our show about? I sort of go, which bit do you want to know about? Because you're right, it is multi-layered.
And it struck me when Kev and I arrived at the same time this morning here on the venue, and I said, you were telling me the story about the Emily and Coralie show, and I said there was just this thing on the radio when I was driving in about Angela Merkel visiting Auschwitz for the first time in a 14-year tenure as German Chancellor, and I found that remarkable in itself. But she spoke out against the rise of anti-Semitism again in Germany and hate crime.
Yeah.
And that was on the radio this morning.
Yeah, look, in writing this content, it was pretty challenging for us as well, because we talk about German and Austrian women, and they were victims. I guess not everyone wouldn't sit well with everybody, I guess, to hear that, but it is what it is, and we certainly don't ram any message down anyone's throat. It's certainly deliberately been written so that people come in and listen to the story and walk out sort of processing that and allowing them to take what they want from it.
Yeah. Well, certainly. Coralie, Emily and Kevin, thank you so much for being with us. All the very best with the show. Those dates again, 11, 12 and 13th of December. That's this week coming up, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the Butter Factory Theatre, Houthouse Theatre. Well done, Houthouse, for putting on Celsius. Our wonderful producer, director, he's such a generous man, John Kovacs. This is your gift pack.
Oh.
Bandages for any
Band-Aids.
scraps within the band.
John, sorry, Kevin, do you want those?
I might need those, yes.
Nani for potassium,
Oh, good. I'll take the nani.
for when things go pear-shaped.
Yeah, we need that, yeah.
Fantastic.
And that's it. And you get a beautiful bag. Oh, and the turmeric as
okay.
well.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a cold filtering around, so that could
Well, turmeric seems to just be
I think
curing
it's
everything.
a cure all. Yeah, 100%.
Great. Good luck with the project. Fascinating. And thank you for going out on a limb and taking some risk and doing things and telling stories in different ways. That's what keeps our theatre and music alive.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Please, thanks, John.
Thank you, John.